Hello everybody, welcome to Loft. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about recessive opals and how to breed them. And I'll let Travis over here, he'll take over and kind of explain how do we do that. So,
okay, so the first thing you're gonna do if you want to breed recessive opals is you're gonna have to get one from somebody. You need one to start out, unless somehow you get, birds that are carrying it or hiding it. So this cock is one of the first ones I ever had, and what I did is I paired him to this blue bar hen. So your generation 1 birds, this pair never will make a recessive opal because she isn't recessive opal, but every baby that this pair has will have the gene. So the rules for recessive opal are just like recessive red. Every baby that a recessive red has with a bird that isn't recessive red, that bird will carry the gene for recessive red, but it'll never express until you either put 2 of those babies together or put one of those babies back with a bird that is that gene also. So this pair, you will have 100% babies that will carry the gene for recessive opal, but 0 will look recessive opal. So these 2 birds are out of the pair that I had in here earlier. These 2 happen to be black. I did get some blue bars and blue checks out of the pair that was in here first. But I kept the blacks because what I wanted to do was make spread recessive opals. So spread recessive opal is that silvery colored cockbird that was in here earlier. That's what I wanted to make more of. That was my goal. Recessive opals come in a lot of colors. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, but I just wanted to show you that I didn't get recessive opals out of the first pairing. And what I happened to get was some blue bars and these blacks, which I kept for what I was trying to do. So, but these birds both carry recessive opal. Paired to a recessive opal, they can have recessive opal babies.
what do you call these T-checks then?
These are spreads.
Or spreads?
Yep,
okay.
black spreads. Okay, so this is another pair of recessive opals that I put together. The cock is obviously, he's a spread recessive opal, so he's got black in him. And the hen happens to have indigo in her as well as being a recessive opal. So I think we're going to show you a close-up of her wing, just to kind of show you that she's not a red check. She does have some distinguishing features in that red that kind of sets her apart from a indigo. But I put this pair together. I've raised 4 babies so far, and we're going to show those next. We'll probably put them all 4 in here together, but all 4 of them are different from each other. It's pretty interesting and surprising what I produced with this pair. But first we'll look at the hen's wing, and then we'll put this pair's babies in here. So if you look real close in there, up here in the wing shield area, the feathers are kind of laced with a darker, it looks like someone took a pencil and kind of colored under the red part of them. That's telling me that that's not just a standard indigo, that's something different. And, this bird I got from a friend. She's actually the first recessive opal that I ever had. Another distinguishing feature on recessive opals is this ribbing pattern in the tail. They're kind of faint, a stripe in the tail. That's always an indicator that it's a indigo, or a recessive opal. So we're gonna grab those babies and look at those next. So these are the babies out of the previous pair. The 2, I mean, you can kind of tell which 2 are older. There's one that resembles a red check in there. That's one of the older ones. Looks pretty much just like the mother. And then the second one of that pair is the one that, I guess it kind of resembles a blue check, but the checks are sort of reddish. That's what a recessive opal looks like. That's not in spread. I personally like the spreads, that silvery color. Actually, this bird here is going to be actually both of these, but these are spreads. This reddish one and this bluish one. are spread recessive opals. The one that appears to be like a red check, that's actually it's a recessive opal with indigo in it. It got that from the mother. And then the one here is a standard recessive opal without spread. But if you put two recessive opals together, that's all you're gonna produce. They'll all be recessive opals, but as you can see, there's a lot of variations even within being a recessive opal. Whereas like a recessive red, they're all red and they all pretty much look the same depending on how much white comes in on them. So I really like these recessive opals, and you can get really good quality birds in recessive opal too. This color originated in homers, so I believe it happened in the Netherlands is where it first started. So these are all recessive opals. Like I said, big variation. So okay, so this is a couple of birds that we've had on the video already. What I'm doing is showing you, this is a pair that I had together last year. I had the spread cock paired to this spread hen that carries recessive opal. The cock is a spread recessive opal. So once I did that, I had the possibility of creating recessive opals. And for some reason, every baby was recessive opal. That's not normal. I should have got half of them. Half of my babies should have been recessive opal and half should have been something other than recessive opal. They could have been blue bars. They could have been just these spread blacks. But it was a good pair. I made all recessive opals. I have two of those left. I'm going to show those next, just to show you what this pair produced together. They had some really nice recessive opals with dark wings that I really liked, so I'm going to show them next. Okay, so these are two of the birds that I got produced out of the pair that we had in just before this, with the spread black hen and the spread recessive opal cock. These are two of the four that I produced, and like I said, every baby turned out to be a spread recessive opal, which is what I really wanted and what I was shooting for. So I was pretty excited to get all four of them turn out to be what I was trying to do. So I'm breeding from the cock this year. The hen was in the second round, so she's a little late. She's starting to show a little interest, but I won't get babies out of her this year. I'll have to use her next year. So them are the two out of the pair from previous. The next bird I'm going to show you is what's called a cherry. It's also a recessive opal and it resembles a silver, but it's just, we're going to show you one more example of a variation of recessive opal. So this is going to be the last bird of the video. She is what's called a cherry. It's a recessive opal. Cherry is just a name, that I've seen on the internet, and I use it too, but I'm pretty sure it's a legitimate name of the color, but it is a recessive opal. This is just called a cherry. If I had a silver, I'd put it in there, or a red bar, put it in there by her. It's pretty hard to tell, but she is like more of a brown color more brown than a silver. I don't really have any silver pigeons or red bars, so okay. Jack might put the two together, this bird with a silver, just so you can see the difference of the shade of the color. So.
Yep, I have one at home that I can put together so these guys can see the difference between the, two of them. So
yeah, just to summarize, so if you want to make recessive opals, you either need recessive opals or you need a bird that has the gene in it to start. It works just like recessive red. You can pair a recessive opal to any color, and you'll never get recessive opal until you take those birds and come back to recessive opal. So 2 recessive opals, you'll get recessive opal 100% of the time. If you take 1 recessive opal and 1 not carrying recessive opal, non-recessive but carrying, you'll get recessive opals 50% of the time. And if you take 2 birds that are carrying recessive opal but aren't recessive opal, then you'll get recessive opal 1/4 of the time. So with 2 carriers, you're going to create 1/4 birds that don't carry it at all, 1/4 birds that are recessive opal, and then the other half the time you're going to produce birds that carry recessive opal. So that's how that gene works. Good luck making them.
Well guys, as promised here, I would show you the difference between regular silver and recessive opal and red bar. This is the one from Travis, and as you can see that by the tail end here, it's got markings in the back end. You can see the recessive opal part of it. On the regular silver, it does not. Let's see if I can get her to turn around for me. Yeah, come here, turn around. Can you turn around for me? As you can see here, now you can see the butts together, okay? See that? The one on the left here is the regular red bar, and the one on the right is the recessive opal red bar, as you can see there. So I hope this kind of helps explain a little difference between the two of them, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. So please like, share, and leave a comment below. And thank you again for watching.